Jump into the sector spotlight and talk about the ag names. I love the underlying story here. I'm a big reader of the Gartman letter, and they talk about commodities every single day. It's part of what they do. The corn story is what's interesting. Prices continue to move up, and they think that it will be sustainable going forward because of the corn crop. There's been no rain in that region of the country. Even though corn and stalk counts have risen, the corn that's yielded from that is lower. So let's look at some of the names individually within the group, and we'll start with ADM.
Okay, we'll go right now to ADM. You'll take a look here, and you'll see that right now, technically, I don't love the way this looks. It's lagging a bit. It's below all of its moving averages. It hasn't come up. It's well off the highs. I think this is a laggard in the group, but if it does get above 29, you have a room to about 30, 31, but I don't love this one in this group right now.
Moving into ConAgra, and a lot of people will be familiar with that name, cereal, corn. This particular name has got an 8% dividend yield. They've taken up the dividend past 3 years. They expect EPS growth over the 8.8% over the next year. Let's take a look at it technically.
Okay, the symbols of that are
CAG.
What?
CAG.
There you go. Sorry, I've been out for a week. This one looks a little bit better. This one at least triggered above this lower pivot. And it's coming up into some resistance. I think if you were in there, a tier 1 and added, I'd be a seller into this 25 zone. But as an investment, it seems okay in this group. This looks better than the previous selection. Okay,
let's move on to CF Industries, ticker CF. Darling of the market, one of the top 20 S&P performers of the year. We like the name.
I think CF, you know what? As a trader, we talk about looking at relative strength when markets decline. And CF never really declined. It was the closest to its high, so once we bounced, it made new highs. So this is one of my mantras that I want to teach everyone, why you stick with the best of the best. So if you look here at CF, you'll see this one is above all the moving averages. It's above a recent pivot. I know it had a little bit of a nasty day yesterday, but big deal because look where it came from. I think this is one you stay with. I think on a pullback you could buy it. Perhaps it gets down to the 170 area or retest this area. But if you're in like a tier 2 over here, I would have sold some into this. And I think you could buy back CF. Stick with this one. This looks like a leader.
Moving into DuPont. It's also going to be the subject of our Options Profits video today. Love this name, highly diversified in nature, also has the corn story.
Yes, let's take a quick look. I do think that this one has some room to go. It broke above its lower wedge also, like you're seeing. And I would say that it's going to have some significant resistance into this 50, 50, 51 area. But if you long it, I think you hold it. If you add it here, sell some there, but stick with this name. This name looks okay. Not leading the pack, but not exactly lagging the pack.
Okay, moving on to potash. They had a strong Q2 beat on strong potash and phosphate demand. Deutsche Bank expects potash demand to increase and be sustainable.
This has been one of the traders' favorites also. As a trader, I'm usually trading CF and POT. They move fast, and as an investment, you get rewarded. This is another one I like a CF. This one also, if you take a look here, you will see that it is above all its moving averages. It's above. It's above support, and it's coming up to old resistance, but it doesn't have much to make new highs here. As an investment, I think you stick with this year. As a trade, it could pull back. I'd rather see you enter it around this 56 to maybe even 55 area if we see a little bit of a pullback, but this one is in the game for higher prices this year.
And let's round it out with Deere. They beat the quarter. They took up fiscal year estimates.
Okay, Deere has been acting a little better than Caterpillar. We talked about that last week. I know everyone is more familiar with Caterpillar and they love the name, which I think you could stick with, but Deere looks a bit better. Deere, if you look here, this not only broke above this lower wedge, which I've been talking, and you see the same pattern here, it went through, let's get off of there, prior support, which became resistance. So that showed some power. So if this could rest, hold above 78, I think this is in the game for higher prices. This is investment quality here with Deere.
So to round it out, we like the ag names overall, but we like to stick with the best of the best. Good volume, strong fundamentals, strong technicals. So DuPont, CF Industries, and Potash are the three that are the best of a great group. Let's go to a quick commercial, and when we come back, we jump into the trenches.